discuss pressing issues that affect not only our schools but also our community and environment. There are a lot of pressing issues going on nowadays, but the one that draws our attention here is littering. Before proceeding on to our presentation, I would like to take this time to introduce myself and my colleagues. I am Jenny Kaupa. I will introduce the topic on littering. The person coming after me, which is the second speaker, is Joshua Joa, and he will identify and describe what littering is all about. Our third speaker is Joel Ure, and he will elaborate on the impacts of littering in schools. Our fourth speaker is Simon Camo, and he will stress on some strategies on how to stop littering. And our final speaker is Peter Nashon. He will summarize and conclude our presentation. Littering is one of the common negative issues that affect most of the institutions across Papua New Guinea, including the University of Goroka. Littering is defined as the carelessness disposal of waste products in public spaces, including footpaths, school lawns, dormitories, classrooms, instead of putting them in designated waste bins. According to United Nations Environment Programme 2018, littering not only harms ecosystem but also has a significant impact on communities, costing them millions in cleanup efforts. This seemingly minor act can have far-reaching consequences that impacts school environment, public health, and so poor attitudes towards students. Littering is an issue visible in daily student life, which become increasingly problematic across institutions in Papua New Guinea. It has the impacts on environment and learning environment, which reflects our identity as students and citizens of Papua New Guinea.
Hello everyone. I'm going to identify and describe what the littering is. First of all, the littering is referring to the act of discarding or disposing waste materials in an inappropriate or unauthorized location or areas, typically public spaces like in schools, hospitals, towns, and many other public places. Littering can be intentional or unintentional, but they generally refers to the improper disposal of items like papers, cans, plastic bags, and other trash left in non-designated areas where they are not belong. As published in the Post Courier dated 5th of May 2025, the Deputy Prime Minister and the member for Ley, Honorable John also have informed the police to enforce public littering law in Ley if people don't take ownership of the city. Mr. Rosso also launched the Cleanathon campaign aimed at educating human mindsets to be responsible with their rubbish and take ownership of the city. Moving on, litter can consist or can be referring to anything from a tiny sweet wrapper to a discard mattress in a public park. The majority of litter comes from people dropping it either on purpose, and this is known as intentional, or by accident, which are known as unintentional. Although some of litter comes from other sources, like for example wind-blown and natural litter, which are caused by the nature. Litter is the untidy or unhygienic practice which can affect the lives of people on the quality and safety of an area. Littering can be referred to the act of making a place looking filthy and untidy by the incorrect disposal of trash in a place where it does not belong. Like, for instance, spitting of betel nut on the pavements, parks, footpaths, slabs becomes a major issue in many schools of Papua New Guinea. According to the website posted on the 9th of January 2025 under the Department of Prime Minister and National Executive Council, Prime Minister James Marape calls for an end to patronage spitting and littering ahead of PNG's 50th independence anniversary. Marape also informed the public that the government will launch a national cleanliness campaign aimed at promoting responsible waste management, anti-littering awareness, and litter-free public spaces. To conclude, litter can be simply referring to the rubbish or waste materials disposed at the wrong place.
The impacts of littering in schools. Littering has many impacts, but I will be elaborating on the three main impacts only, which littering can have on the school environment, the school health, and the social or academic performance of the school. Firstly, the impact of littering in the school environments can lead to pollution as stated by Texas disposal system on the 2nd of January 2024. As the litter degrades, chemicals and microparticles are released. These particles are natural to the environment and can cause a number of problems. For instance, cigarette butts contain chemicals, so when it is washed away by the rain into the nearby rivers, it can affect the aquatic life. Secondly, the impact of littering on the school health. Improper discharge trash is a breeding ground for bacteria and diseases. Litter can spread diseases through direct contact or indirect contact. For instance, if we don't dispose our rubbish properly, it can attract animals such as dogs to come and feed on those rubbish, then excrete around the school area, which can cause bad smells for the students to breathe and can make them sick. On the other hand, the flies can also sit on the animals' waste and then sit on the students' food, which can make them sick also. Finally, the impact of littering on social and academic performance of the school. A dead environment discourages learning and lowers the morale of learning. On the other hand, it also affects the school reputation when visitors visit the school or institution and saw littering everywhere. They will have negative comments about the institution. For instance, here at the University of Goroka, Bitternuts sellers come into the school campus, sell bitternut to the students, and they chew and spit everywhere, which can cause the visitors visiting this institution to give negative comments about this institution.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the way forward and the strategy we will use to minimize the littering in the schools. Okay, one of the theory which was proposed by Benduras in 1977, which states that a good behavior can be rewarded and a bad behavior should be discouraged and punished. In that, we can help the person who try to do the wrong, so it can be they can be realized their mistake and do the right things. Okay, one of the things that common in PNG, schools we have to look at the environment settings of the schools. Like for one thing, I want to stress is that we have to increase the administration, or the administration have to increase the beings around the school areas to make it in the pathway or the dormitories or classroom, there should be many bins around the place so that it will help the students at the campus to throw the rubbish at the right place. And they will, whatever they're holding to, and when they want to walk around the school center, they have to throw the rubbish in the near rubbish bin. It will make them to responsible of their rubbish. Another thing is that the schools, the lecturers and the student leaders, or student leaders and the dormitory leaders, they have to, be the role model of the school. They have to uh, take good care of their rubbish, and they have to produce, make announcement in the class, or they have to produce some posters in the dormitory so that the students can see the posters and they can feel responsible of their rubbish, and they have to throw it in the right place. Another thing is that during the orientation day of the school, so uh, yes, during the beginning of the schools, they have to make an announcement about the school rules and regulations. They also have to stress about the littering around the school areas, and they have to make the rules, and whoever breaks the rule, they have to put a little punishment. They have to make it clear for the students when they enter the school area. In that, they will also feel responsible of the rubbish they're holding to. When they come into the school areas or they walk around the school areas, if they're holding the rubbish, they have to feel responsible about their rubbish, and they have to put it in the right place. And in their mind, they will feel, they will think that it is not good for them to throw the rubbish at the wrong place, so they will keep the rubbish and put it in the right place. Another thing also is that the student leader, they have to come up with a small prize at the end of semester. They have to make the announcement so that the people or the students in the near dormitories or dormitory around the school, they have to uh, keep their dormitory clean and keep the area clean, so that at the end of the semester and at the end of the term, they will get a small prizes which was set by the school leaders or dormitory leaders. And then it will encourage them to take good care of the rubbish and anything around them, so it will make the environment clean. And with that, it will encourage the student to take good care of their rubbish they holding on to. Okay, other thing I want to say is that we have to make announcement with the friends that we are come across with. We have to make announcement. We have to be the part of the cleaning done in the school area also, and the students and the lecturers and the students. We have to be the role model of the school. We have to be responsible for our rubbish, and if we go walk across the footpath or the dormitories or the buildings, if we see any rubbish around our path, we have to be responsible, and we have to take our time to clean it and at least put it in the right place. With that, it will make other person who see us, they will feel that the rubbish is not good for us to throw it in whatever place, so we have to put it in the right place. So they will feel also responsible about the rubbish. With that, the behaviors boundaries theories, it's also encourage us to do the right things. And if we see the students try to do the right thing, then we have to encourage them and give them the at least small rewards or word of thank you. It will encourage them to put the rubbish at the right place. And if the students try to put the rubbish in the wrong place and throw it around, we have to discourage that thing, and we have to encourage them to pick up their own rubbish and put it in the right place. With other things, this behavior theories about the Banduras, it's supposed to support our presentation. And in that way, we will go in line with our government vision, the 2050 vision. It says the Papua New Guinea should become the blessed nation and the cleanest nation in the Pacific region.
To conclude this presentation is all about littering. We are going to talk about how littering affects our school, our health, and our environment, and also we're going to address some important strategies on how we're going to stop littering in our schools and societies. Littering means throwing rubbish like plastics, bottles, cans, and food wrappers on the ground instead of putting them in the right place or bin.
This may seem like a small act, but when many people do it, our school becomes dirty and unpleasant. Sometimes people don't even think twice about dropping a piece of trash, but over time it adds up and it affects all of us. Littering has many bad effects on our school environment. Firstly, it makes our school look dirty and messy. A place that should be clean and welcoming turns into a place filled with rubbish. This can also attract flies, mosquitoes, and rats, which brings diseases and create health risks for everyone. Number two, or secondly, it shows a lack of respect. When a student walks into a clean, healthy, and conducive environment, they feel better about themselves and can concentrate more. But a dirty environment can lead to a poor behavior and negative attitude, meaning the students will disrespect the environment, the learning environment, and this leads to poor learning in the classroom academically. Lastly, litter also harms the environment. Plastics and other waste materials can block the drains, pollute the soil, and add plants and animals in and around the school. We can stop littering if we all work together. One way is to provide more bins around the school, in the classroom, along the walkways, sport areas, and near the canteen so it's easy for everyone to drop their rubbish in the right place. Another way is through education. Students should learn or should taught why littering is wrong and how it affects their health, learning, and environment. This can be done through classrooms, class lessons, school assemblies, or fun activities like songs, posters, and skits. Teachers and older students can also set a good example. When younger students see them using bins and picking up rubbish, they will also learn to do the same. Cleanup day is also helpful. School can have special days where everyone clean the school. This builds teamwork and make everyone feel proud of their clean space. Lastly, we should also spread this message to our communities and homes. When families and school work together, good habits become part of our daily lives. In conclusion, littering is not just another problem. It's something that affects our health, learning, and environment. But it's something that we can all help fix. By using this, learning about cleanliness and work together as a team, we can make our school and society clean, safe, and beautiful. Let's take pride in our surroundings and be the change that stop littering in our societies. With that, thanks for watching.